And yes, here we are. We are back. Another Friday night edition of Talkin Live Pulling, of course, here on the Pulling Radio Network. Good evening, everybody. Welcome another Friday night edition. And, of course, my special guest tonight, well, he's from somewheres on the western part of New York, so we're going to kind of keep it close to the vest tonight. Mike Petrie, how the heck are you tonight, my friend?
I'm very good, Ray. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm glad to have you on. Of course, Mike Petrie, the cook chief and bottle washer extraordinaire, the brand new series. Boy, we're talking infant, not even in a crawling stage yet, Mike. New York Hot Farm Pulling Series.
Yes, I been doing a lot of thoughts over the past year, and lots of interest in this, and we started out on a good note. We had a great meeting down in Canandaigua about a week ago at the Corns residence shop down there. It was awesome. I was so happy with the turnout. We have another one scheduled coming up for those who didn't make it.
Yep.
In February, on February 4th.
Okay.
And that is going to be held down in Clinton, New York, at Lewis Brothers shop.
Well, a little closer to me. You're in Clinton, so we're almost to Utica. I can make it to Clinton. It's just on the other side, so that's not so bad.
Oh, that's wonderful, Ray. Things are looking up on everything.
Good.
We've got a lot of stuff in the works. We're launching our website. I think that maybe started today. I'm not sure. I haven't checked it yet, but the girl that's been working on it has been really busy. And, of course, I've been sick going into the new year, and that knocked me back a little bit from pushing her a little bit. So, But anyways, I think we got our logo there. I think it started, but I'll have to check on it later tonight.
Yeah, we got the logo up. It's a good. They did a nice job. I love it. And I know our guys in marketing we're talking highly about it, giving it your all. And of course, live call in tonight 518-620-1429. That's going to get you on with me and Mike tonight. You're going to be able to talk with me and Mike about the brand new New York Hot Farm Series. Any questions you have about it, anything you want to talk about, if you want to talk about tractor pulling, you want to talk about Gordyville, you want to talk about Kentucky there this past weekend, and of course CNC coming up, Murray, Kentucky coming up, and of course in just about your backyard, the New York State Fair Board Convention kicking off tomorrow.
Yes, I will be making an appearance tomorrow there at the Fair Convention. I did take on a great person out that way in Herkimer County that's been a promoter for Herkimer County Fair for tons of years, Kathy Ostrander.
Yep.
She's going to be working side by side with me on a lot of the promotional stuff. She's just an awesome person.
No, I think you got somebody that's really going to line up well with you. I think she's going to do a great job for you. Everybody knows who Kathy is. She's done a great job out of Herkimer, and they've had their ups and downs. They've gone through different rule changes. They've gone through different, people in the field to keep to keep it running behind the scenes along with Kathy for a number of years. This year they went to a new pulling sled. They've even the conversation when they changed directions, pulling north versus pulling south there. So just them changes, do make quite a bit of difference, and I don't know if people realize that, and I had a conversation with a promoter today. I don't think a lot of the pullers understand, Mike, that what goes into putting on this event, putting on any event, any truck pulling event. I think they seem to forget that it's just not making sure the rules are right and the sled's on time and the payouts are there. You having experience as a promoter, you can comment on that.
I've worked with a tractor class last year. It's a lot of work. You got to have dedication to the sport. You got to have a team as like a team player for each thing that goes on that night. Any kind of job, any kind of whether you're doing registration, you're doing flagging, or you're anything, lineup, scale. There's so much goes involved in setting these things up and doing them each and every show. And with that being a team, we've got a great team leading us. Wayne Butts, he's been in the pulling business for umpteen years. He's been with, I think, Western New York Pro Farm. He's been with EST. In fact, I think he's back, going to do some stuff with EST as a tech official or something, I was told. I know he's done some stuff with Full Pull Productions, I believe. So he's been around the business. He knows the ins and outs, and he's a very good track guy.
No, it's and having, and I've always said, just like we have here, and I will stack my crew here at the Pullin Radio Network against any of the other media broadcasters and just about any sport. When you get to that that level there, I'm not saying ESPN because these boys aren't getting paid, boys and girls aren't getting paid, but when you can surround yourself with one, like-minded people, two, people that have a dedication to what they're doing, three, the love for what they're doing. I mean, it's fantastic, And again, you guys already, I'm going to say stepping off on the right foot, right out of the gate. I think you're already farther ahead than you already think so. Everybody kind of says, oh, they just started, like I said in the beginning, in its infancy. I think you're already farther ahead than you realize. Able to put out to be able to provide a product to people who, again, are like-minded, who are excited about the product. It's just going to be a win-win.
Well, Ray, I've spoke with quite a few people out east of Syracuse and in that area, general area, and I'll tell you that the response from these guys, they want a club where they have rules, they have payout, they have good shows, lots of tractors, lots of trucks, and that's what we're going to try to produce. And on that note, a good friend of mine, I've pulled with him for the past couple of years, Jim Weber. He's on board with us. He's a super great guy. He's brought us sponsorships, getting started out, and he's just amazing. Schaefer Oil, Brock Height, he's going to be with us this year. I couldn't say enough about him. He's been terrific.
Well, that's great.
He was at the meeting. He was at the meeting as well.
Well, we already got our first question here out there. A Chris Baker, Mike, when will the website be up? So I think if Chris missed that, I believe you would answer that, but we want to reiterate that again on the website.
I think it's being launched tonight. Not fully. We got a lot of work to do on it yet, but at least I think it's up there, so there's something to look at or comment on or something like that. I have my secretary that's got to put everything in it yet, so just give me a little bit. I promise you it will be up before the end of next week with everything that you need to know about it.
Well, that's great. And what is that website? Did you guys lock in what this is? What this website is? What this website's going to be?
Yeah, it's going to be New York Hot Farm Pulling Series, and if it doesn't come up that way, it'll come up the abbreviated way. New York Hot Farm, it'd be NYHFPS, I believe.
Okay, good.
So our logo should be on there, the new logo. I'll tell you what, DST Graphic Group out of West Seneca is just awesome. They designed the logo. They sent it back and forth to me 10 times. I didn't like it. So then I sent it back, and then they come back to me, and they go back, and finally we come up with something that we kind of like and they all like, and I sent it around to people so they could see it and see what we're, left it open, and if anybody wanted to change it, we could change it, but that's our new logo. We like it, and that's what we're going with.
No, that's great. And, of course, open talk here on Talkin' Live Pulling here on the Pulling Radio Network, 518-620-1429. Give us a call. We'll take your call here on the air live here tonight with myself and Mike Petrie talking about the brand new series, the New York Hot Farm Pulling Series. Now, Mike, you yourself a hot farm puller, isn't that correct?
Yeah, we're in the process of redoing the whole thing. It was a light last year. We're putting a new chassis on it, probably a new hood, and updating things a little bit so we get back on track. Whether or not I'm going to have time to pull it, I may have to find somebody to drive it. But that's that's not a big deal. I'm sure there's enough people out there that raise their hand to get on it.
Well, no doubt, and of course, international powered. You got to love it there. We got a picture up there, the bulletproof binder. Great to see that, and we got that posted up there with yourself.
It might be a little different this year, so it might be a little more bullet.
A little more. There you go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is your partner listening in on this? Because I might need to buy some of them fancy tanks that he has.
Yeah, I know. Adam dropped right now, and I can almost I guarantee it that he is in the shop. He's got this playing in the background in the headpiece, and he's either tigging a tank or he's polishing a tank. He says tigging them's pretty easy. That doesn't take that long, putting the bungs in and setting it up. But it's the polishing that takes forever. So that's more than likely what he is, what he's working on here tonight. He had texted me earlier, and of course, I know he'll be listening in. And a bunch of others are listening in here. And again, here on Facebook tonight. Chris Baker, baddest IHSS in my opinion. He says if you need somebody to run it, he will. And of course, Cody Eisenhut tonight. He says doesn't think Chris can handle it, but so they're getting a little conversation going. But of course, live here tonight, if guys got questions, want to bring something up, talking about the classes here, 518-620-1429, talking live polling here Friday night, 9 o'clock. Again, not on every Friday night show. We skipped out last Friday, of course. Kenny Eggleston, Dave Fultz from Kentucky, along with Eric Pruitt, the Godfather, handling the airwaves here as we were live broadcasting the Kentucky Invitational. What a great show. Now, Mike, while we got you, let's get into it a little bit. What classes are you? It's not just going to be tractors. Am I correct? You guys are looking at more than just hot farm tractors.
Yes, we're going to have 3 tractor classes, and we're going to offer a street diesel pickup class too, which is it's a street legal pickup, 8,000 pounds. And we do have a mini mod group out of the Keystone area that would like to make a couple shows with us too. So we're kicking around things and see what the promoters like and go from there.
That's great. And Andy Shearing had just posted that as asked that question. As I was asking you that, so it looks good so far. I mean, it looks like you put together a pretty good series. Now give us kind of the rundown. Do you got anything that's on the books as of yet? Question from our friend Andy Smith out there.
We're not locked in yet.
Okay.
We have a lot that's being discussed right now, and like I said earlier, Kathy Ostrander is just a wonderful person. She's doing a lot of my leg work that I can't do tonight, and probably throughout the season. But we're going to be a lot. We're looking at a lot like out in Canandaigua and east of Canandaigua. We might have a couple this way. We're working on that on this side of Canandaigua. So probably won't know, until the end of probably February before we get stuff finalized and stuff like that.
Another question, Chris Baker throwing out there now, and hopefully we'll get to see more of these here with a bunch of us when we make the trip down to Keystone second weekend in March here, coming up the 9th through the 11th down in Harrisburg. The diesel compacts, is that something that the organization is going to allow to run in that mini class? So now I'm not going to say there's dozens of them, but I know of at least 4 that are from the Pennsylvania, Ohio cornered area.
Well, we could be exception to it if somebody was to bring it to the table.
Okay.
I'd take a look at it. Actually, Kathy's been doing such a great job with us, and I invited her to go to the Keystones with us and check it out. She's never been down there, so she was kind of excited to go down with us and give her something a little bit different and get out of her own little shell down there in Herkimer where she's at all the time, or Frankfurt, or wherever she
right
holds her place down.
Well, that's great.
So she's excited to go.
Oh, yeah. It's always a
on
good
that
event
note.
there. Always a good event there.
I can't say enough about Cody Eisenhut. He's the backbone for me out that way for the competitors and getting them riled up and rounded up, and he's been doing a lot of work out that way, keeping everybody together and getting things together for me. And he's been a super person. I've known him for several years, and I think we'll be a great team together.
Yeah, Cody does a great job. You see him at a lot of pulls. He makes comments on events and promotions and things like that and social media, and they're very thought out, very very intelligent comments compared to some other pullers out there that just kind of just vomit on it and just make asinine comments. But Cody's a very very smart individual. I don't say that because he drives a red tractor. I just from knowing Cody, I just know he's a very very quick individual. So we'll see how it goes. Andy brings up a comment, and I don't know if this is to crank the pot a little bit, but I hear those hot farm guys out east don't like any rules. Now, I guess we can kind of get into the hot farm section. You and I kind of discussed it. Hot farms here in the eastern part of upstate New York running RPM. You guys are talking wide effing open. Is that something that was finally decided on?
We are going to run open RPMs with all the safety equipment. There's a cubic inch limit in each class. And as I spoke with Kathy earlier, and she says if we need to get a tech official, well, she'll get one lined up for us. If there's a problem, we'll take care of it. But hopefully there's not a problem and everything goes smooth and the way we'd like it to be, and make it fair to everybody.
Oh yeah.
They have a good time and enjoy the night, and everybody can shake hands and drink a beer later or something.
Right. Now on that diesel class, I didn't jot it down. What class did you guys What guys did you decide? What class did you guys decide to take? Was it a 2.5 class or a work stock class or a 2.6 class?
It's a work stock class.
So is there going to be a stock appearing Charger, a 2.5 Charger, small frame Charger? What was the deciding factor for that diesel class?
The rules that I don't have in front of me, but I do remember that it was a street legal truck that weighed 8,000 pounds with no hanging weights. I believe it's got to be registered and insured. I don't know what if there was a specs on the turbo or anything like that. I can't answer you that right now.
Okay. Now on the website, kind of another question is will the rules all be posted once the website is launched?
They will be posted, and I'm going to get after this girls there that's going to take care of it, and we'll get everything up as soon as I probably. I'm thinking it's going to be within the next week. I should be up and flowing pretty good.
Good, very good. And again, right here tonight with Mike Petrie from the New York Hot Farm Pulling Series. Give us a call, 518-620-1429. Chat with Mike and myself here tonight. Friday night, looking forward to the 2017 season. Now, with the next upcoming meeting or 2 or 3, now you guys are going to go and not self-promote this. You guys are going to take this to the fair organizations and the fire departments and try to promote it, promote this series in that fashion. Am I correct?
Correct. Yes. And Kathy again has been a big help for that. I know some of the firemen that I've been to before, so we've been some of the promoters there. I've been in contact with, and so everybody's in that area is pretty much well known that what's coming up and what we're going to do and what we're trying to do, and so far we've got a lot of good stuff out there. When it comes back, hopefully it's a lot coming back. The guys are excited. I've got guys calling all the time out east, and Cody's phone's blowing up like crazy all the time, and Um, I've been in touch with the Smith boys on a regular basis. Them two guys are just terrific. You know Kyle and Craig Smith.
Yep.
They've been a big asset to this club too. They're going to help with some of the shows out there and east of Syracuse way, and then probably some of the ones up this way too if we need them. But they've been a big help. So it's a team effort. Everybody's got to work together and to make it successful. And with the background of everybody that's been in the business, I feel that it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot easier than what anticipated.
Well, that's good. I mean, we look forward to that. It's everybody says it's hard to get good hooks and be able to put on a good product out there. It seems like a lot of the fairs have backed away from or have talked about backing away from these events. I know several that have approached myself. Who do you recommend? Who do you talk to? How do we go about it? How do we can you come and do it? And I'm like, well, you got to look at these other organizations that are able to come in, one with the following, two with the manpower. Three, the only downfall is the fair has to pony up a larger sum of cash. Thankfully, a lot of these organizations, that cash goes back to the pullers. It's not pocketed and walked off on the left hand. So it's good to hear that. Now, let's see, how many have committed? Is there a set number of how many pullers have committed to the series?
I've got 5 right now, I believe, that are committed, but it's still early yet. I got to make my rounds. We haven't got the website up for the membership stuff yet, so that's kind of slacking. The people that were at the meeting took their membership stuff home to mail in.
Good.
As soon as I get it up on the website, there will be a membership up there to print, a printable one, so that they can get it in. I'm expecting them back. I can't remember the date. I think we put March 1st or March 15th on it to have them back by or something like that.
Good.
So we can get everything in order.
Now, well, it takes time, and being a part of something that started from ground level up, and being with it for the past, I got 6 or 7 years. It seems like an eternity now. It takes time, and you sit there as the guy that's leading the charge. It's like, all right, how many are going to come? How many are going to commit? How many are going to show? How are we going to pull this off? How do we get the sponsors? The advertisers. Are we going to be able to lock in a good price on a sled? Are we going to get okayed on the insurance? Are we not going to have anything from not going to have anything wrong with a promoter, whether it's self-promoted or it's paid for through an organization. Those are big factors that weigh on somebody putting these on. And again, like we were saying earlier, and I guess we can get back into that and kind of bounce off of what these guys are talking about here in the Facebook chat. But somebody's going to come and ride my can about being a promoter or saying, oh, you guys didn't do a great job. What a shit show, or what a crap job at that pull. Just once, I invite any puller to come and be a promoter. And myself and Dave Fultz have talked about this. Eric Pruitt, all the guys here on the Pulling Radio Network have talked about this because we have all done it. We have all promoted in some shape, fashion, or form, and 95%, well, I'll knock it down to 85%. 85% of the main show hosts or announcers or promoters in some shape or form. So it is hard to get anything done without having, all this weighing on your back. I mean, if somebody's going to go, if somebody's going to go and say, "Oh, what a shit show that was," I invite you to come and stand in the place of the promoter, stand in place of the guy that's in charge, the lead tech official, or whatever the case may be, and give it a shot. Before you go and knock it. So,
I've been pulling for years, and it's easy to go to a pull and just unload and go pay your entry fee and go pull and stuff like that, But like you said, behind the scenes is just there's a lot that goes with it, and some days you just think, what am I doing? But it's the passion that you're doing it for, and I enjoy it. I enjoy meeting new people. I enjoy seeing these things go down the track. And it's like a big family to me when I'm there, and you got to have a passion for it, Ray, or you won't be able to make it.
Yeah, I keep saying that here. We've done tremendous things with the Pulling Radio Network, and we're going to continue to keep doing them. And it's, because of the passion every one of us have for the sport. We want to see the sport grow. We want to continue to see the sport to gain lots. And I think Craig Smith jumping in there. Yes, Andy. Andy Smith asking, is there going to be a points chase? Is there going to be a point series? Craig jumping in there. Thanks for joining us, Craig. There will be a point system, is what they're telling us.
Yes, there will be. Any one of the members are eligible for points.
Now let's kind of get down to the stuff that nobody ever likes to talk about. It's two things people don't like to talk about. Let's see if you can guess them two things, Mike. What's the two things that pullers don't like to talk about?
What they got in their tractors.
That was close. I was going to say rules and money. Let's get into that. Two things that pullers don't like to talk about: rules and money. We've kind of touched on the rules. We've kind of touched on the rules a little bit. What are we talking to be a member of New York Farm or Hot Farm Pullers?
We're required, I believe, $150 membership and $125 sponsor.
Yep.
The sponsor money is going to go into a points fund.
Okay.
For that class. So at the end of the season, them guys will get a points check back. That's how it works.
So you're going to pay out your what now? Do you have a set scale on how you're going to pay your points funds back at the end of the year, or has that not been yet decided?
That hasn't been yet discussed yet.
Okay.
We have a couple more meetings coming up before I want to get everything hatched out in the next couple meetings as far as the competitors list and what we're going to go with and what we're going to have. And
okay, great. I mean,
that'll be discussed, and everything should be set up on the website. Hopefully, everything's done, and by the time we get into May and June, we can start getting prepared for the first show.
No, that's great. That's it's gonna take time. There's no doubt in my mind. It's gonna take time to get this thing off the ground. It's great to see somebody wanting to step up. Now they're in the conversation. See, you brought that up. Now they're talking charger size. So that's kind of showing where the conversation on Facebook is going tonight. These guys are already talking, showing off charger size.
Well, the charger size is going to be a 3x3. We've discussed it over and over and over again, and for some reason, the old 3x3s are just been in the writing on the wall for these guys. So that's what we're going to run. As far as in all the classes, they're going to allow a 3x3. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes to the table with that. And the limited hot farm class, they're going to have the 3x3, the 466 class, as well as the light class. Now, the light class is going to run a 380 cube, so that ought to be real interesting to see who can run that on that. But it can be done, and I know it's been done, and I know competitors that have it, and it runs good. But that was what they decided on, and that's what we're going to go with. And of course, all the safety equipment. When you open these things up, you want to have all the safety equipment. The only class that is mandatory is the big class for the cages. So the other two classes, you either have to have a ROPS or a cage.
Okay.
Cage is preferred, but a ROPS is mandatory with a seatbelt. But the limited hot farm, the big cube class, has to have a cage.
No,
guys will be turning some speed.
Well, of course. I mean, safety is the key. Safety is the key in any of these divisions or classes of vehicles. I mean, safety's got to be first and foremost.
Absolutely, and then we're gonna make sure that that's all there too. I don't see anything that we have struggles with. We've been doing really super well. I'm very happy with the crew that we have. Anybody that wants to help is always help for something, and these guys to offer their help and to have Kathy Ostrander to come in and want to be by my side was just incredible because she's got such a reputation of being in the business from all the pullers around that area, whether it's anywhere east of Canandaigua, Syracuse area down that way. She's very familiar with everybody. She knows a lot of people, and she's been in the fair board for quite some time. So it's a pleasure to have her, and I'll be meeting up with her tomorrow.
Oh, great! That'd be great. Well, I got a couple questions here. Let's see. Let's throw this one out there. Chris Baker chimed in. You're going to allow handicap for small charger, stock fuel system, and smaller cubes. Is that going to be something that's going to be allowed here in the series?
If he comes in and has the proper safety equipment for the tractor, we'll let him hook.
Okay. He can
hook, and we won't turn him away. I know Chris myself. He's a good egg down there in Pennsylvania. I've met with him a few times in the last couple of years here, and he's in Harrisburg too. He goes to Harrisburg, and he's got his eye on the pulling thing down that way. He does a lot of stuff. I believe he's got his own website or something. He helps run a website or down there in Pennsylvania, and does a great job.
No, it's great.
Helps run a website or.
There we go. When they get back on there before when they get the scroll going. Let's see. You got one other question. You're going to allow handicap. I got that one. Comment from John Shelton. The cage should be mandatory on all classes being talked about, big or little. Andy Shearing jumping in. What's the difference between a super farm and a big cube 3x3 class?
We're going to limit it to them no puller tires. No HP pullers.
Okay.
They're very similar. They're allowed intercoolers in this class. So it's close to Super Farm, but we're not going to allow the puller tires, the HP pullers. I believe that class, it's a 9,500-pound class. The cube's 619.
Okay.
And they can run intercoolers, but everything's got to be caged.
Okay. It's always a good question. Good questions here, and of course, if you want to call in and talk with Mike and myself, I know a lot of guys a little shy tonight. They're getting their questions in, Mike. They're getting their knowledge in. They're looking to get it asked, which is good. You want to see definitely the guys out there interested in what's going on. But of course, if you want to give us a call, 518-620. 1429. We'll get you on here, the Talkin' Live Pulling Show Friday night. About halfway through the show here tonight. And, of course, big thank you to our friends from Tedder Pulling Performance, one of the sponsors here on the Pulling Radio Network. And, of course, back here this season. Let's see. Dave Shelton chiming in. Why have so many different rules? Why not use use NTPA rules for the Super Farm? All right, there you go. Why the new change in rules? Why coming up with your own bag, as they may say?
Well, there's a group of guys that have that set rules and induct TPL rules or NYTPA rules. I don't feel that it's that. We're at that point yet, maybe, and down the road, we can, after we adapt to into the club a little bit better and get a little bit better hold on everything after we get a year or so under our belts, then maybe we'll look at it. But right now, I don't believe that that's anything that we need to look at.
Okay. Hopefully that answered John's question. Let's see. We're not Super Farm or looking for Super Farm. We're talking about Hot Farm. Cody Eisenhut, Chris Baker. Super Farm NTPA is worse rules with no intercooler, and of course our first call chiming in. Let's get him on. Hello, caller. You're on live, the Pulling Radio Network, talking live, Ray, and of course our guest tonight, Mike Petrie. Go ahead, caller.
Good afternoon, guys. How are you doing?
Hey, that voice sounds familiar.
Good. How you?
Yeah, doing? I'm gonna. You're doing a show without me, and I figured I'd call and yell at you and say, "What the hell, dude?
What the
hell's going on, man? You're doing a show without me?"
You're supposed to be polishing tanks. That's what me and Mike said you were doing.
No, we just got out of dinner.
Probably working on my tanks now, aren't you, Adam?
That's right, Adam.
Did you order them?
And of course, being joined by my
That's what I thought.
being joined with my Tuesday night co-host Adam Drop for Mad Pulling Picks. I only work you once a week. I don't have to work you anymore. Sometimes that works out better that way.
Oh my God! Really? Come on, man.
So
what? You're trying to brace yourself and not overdo it before you got to go on a long road trip with me to Louisville?
That's what it is.
Is that what's going on?
I'm just trying to take you in small batches before that 8-hour trip, and I was figuring it out.
Small batches.
Short naps. That's going to be a lot of short naps. Ask Todd Clark from Never Enough Performance when we went. He goes, "You snore." I said, "So do you. I don't want to hear any more about this conversation."
Well. If it's anything as loud as I snore we'll probably create a sonic boom.
Well, we should be okay. We'll keep the ice off the roof here tonight. But great guest here, great guest host tonight, kicking off our brand new pulling series, Adam, the Hot Farm Pulling Series out of New York. Mike Petrie, and he's out from, of course, your end, been a puller for a while, and I think you guys known each other for a little bit. It was good to get him on here tonight talking about what they got coming up, in 2017.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like it's going to be a pretty good year, for all them guys. They got a bunch of guys. We talked a little bit about it, and they got a bunch of guys from really all over the state. So it's going to combine, kind of like the whole East versus West. We got with Empire State and NYTPA, you got versus. With them guys, it looks like they're going to join, forces in both sides, and they're going to kind of mesh. So it's going to be a pretty cool deal. So definitely anxious to see what they got in store for us for 2017.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it as I've been acclimated more into the track for world, doing some work with the NYTPA this year. Like I said, Adam, Super Farm's my new favorite class. So that's Super Farm.
I'll wait till you see the 4-1 limited pros running.
Well, I'm hoping to see that.
Boy.
Looking forward to that as well. And of course,
it's that big cubic inch with a 4-1 on it.
And sucking air like a hurricane,
treat.
Taking all that air like a hurricane. You know what I mean? So we're definitely looking forward to that. So, well, I appreciate the call, my friend. Appreciate you jumping in here tonight.
Like I said, I figured I'd just give a call and yell at you and say thanks for doing a show without me.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
I'm probably sponsoring the show, and I don't even know about it.
No, it's a Tedder. It's brought to everybody tonight by our friends at Tedder Pulling Performance. Of course, Scott and Kara Tedder. So big thank you to them.
Thank you, Scott and Kara Tedder. We appreciate everything you guys do for us.
That's right. All right, Adam, we will catch you Tuesday.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Sorry for bugging you. Continue.
Thank you. Good night.
See you later. Bye.
Of course, Adam Drop, Mad Pulling Picks right there. And, of course, my co-host every Tuesday night, The Full Pull with Adam and me, Ray. So we look forward to that. Excuse me. You still there? Did we lose you? No, there you go.
I'm still here. Ray.
Well, that's good, Mike. Well, we got one caller under our belt, but a lot of questions here tonight. And it seems like a good portion of them questions that have been pouring in, of course, on the how did we lose that one? On the page, have been about the rules. I mean, it seems to be probably one of the biggest subjects, I think, for any pulling series, any pulling league. It doesn't matter where it is. It's all going to break down to the rules. And I mean, they're kind of getting right into the down and dirty in regards to, the weight, the 466 with a 3x3, 9,500 pound, 619 cubes with a 3x3. I mean, have you guys set these rules in place, or is this something that when this goes on the website, this is being developed?
They're in place. That's what we're going with. They'll be on the website, like I said, as soon as we get that rolling, and it's, like I said, it should be launched tonight, I believe, but I got to check and see some of it, what's going on with it. And I'll be on that all next week, making sure that's our main priority, to get that stuff up and get the puller profiles so you can print them up, and the memberships on there so they're printable, as well as the rules of classes and all that stuff.
Have you?
Tomorrow
I mean, with that, I mean, how do you guys handle now when it comes to truck pulling with several different leagues and several different organizations? There is a group of guys that'll go out in that league and handle that are tech officials. Now, have you guys come to an agreement on how the tech per se is going to work? Are you going to self-enforce, or is it going to be a matter of having 2 tech officials, or 4, or none, or anarchy? I mean,
this year, the startup of this year, we're gonna Wayne will be doing some of it, probably a good majority of it. He's worked with a bunch of different clubs, so he's on the ball with quite a few things. And if he can't handle it, we're gonna have to sub it out to somebody. Kathy knows plenty of people, so on that note, we should have that covered. Hopefully that that everything goes the way we'd like it to go. You don't want any complications, obviously, anywhere. So we want to keep things fair to everybody.
No, understandable. I mean, that's going to be the key to having something that's smooth, that's going to be well run, and something that guys are going to want to come back and enjoy. Something that the fairs are going to want, or the fire departments, or whoever is going to buy into this, are going to enjoy, and are going to get good feedback. They're going to get people that are going to want to come into it. They're going to get people that are going to want to come be a part of it. So, I mean, that's going to make, I think, probably going to be your biggest hurdle, the hurdle, your biggest hurdle to overcome for success. When you guys sit back and look at 2017, and of course, you being a promoter in the past and working with other organizations, I mean, you guys have seen that. So, I mean, that's going to go without. Pretty much go without saying.
Definitely a lot of work, Ray. Putting your time into it. I don't know. People, the pullers, don't know the time that goes into it. Maybe some of them do, but there's a lot of back stuff that getting stuff ready to go, and lining your insurance up, and getting all the forms ready, and getting everything put in on time, and making sure you're well equipped to go. And the sponsorship, like I said, Jim Weber, he's been just a great guy. He's just full of sponsorship all the time. He's digging it up and to get us going and get us off the ground. And I can't say enough about him. Everybody does their job, does what they're supposed to do. It'll be successful.
No doubt. Well, I'll get a question popping in here. quick question popping in here, Austin Wagner. What do you think the most unlike rule in the hot farm class that will get the most negative attention?
Say that again?
The most unliked rule in a hot farm that'll get the most negative attention.
Man.
And watching some of these guys, they've already started coming out with the cage.
Farms obviously aren't a farm stock tractor anymore. If anybody thinks they're a farm stock, there's no comparison. They are a pulling tractor.
Right.
And you're turning more than RPMs, stock RPMs. The wheel speed's going to be different. Everything comes into play, and you need the safety stuff.
Of course. I mean that goes with it. I mean that should the roll cage and the wheelie bars that should be a moot point. That should be, if you have to have them, you have to have them. There should be no negativity or any complaints about it, whether the guys like it or not. I mean, we've come a long way in the sport. Thank God, almost 95% of the time, that is not the biggest issue when a tractor has a problem on the track. And we've all seen that. But it does occur.
I can tell you this, Ray. If you ask any of the ones that have been around me for years and pulled, I was always all about putting a show on. And I'll tell you, I ran without wheelie bars for years just thinking that, these things don't go over. I've had them standing straight in the air. Well, there's always that one time after growing up, after having kids, and getting into a little deeper into life, it kind of sets you back and makes you think, and maybe we should put some wheelie bars on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually one of them bad guys that was told one time, "Don't come back unless you have wheelie bars." So,
right.
And that was on a farm stock tractor that was running a little hot, but I was a big show off. I had to throw the thing up in the air and stand it straight up in the air, and now I know I wouldn't let my kid on anything with running without wheelie bars on anymore.
I mean, it's again that safety key, is right there, and of course John making the comment out there, having a cage is the best rule that's come out. If you think not having a cage is the worst rule, then maybe you don't need to be pulling anymore. I think he's I think he's in that part where the cage and having the bar. I think I would invest. It's like these guys. We get this conversation all the time with these 3.0 guys. 2.6 and 3.0 guys, and some of these alcohol guys. Whether it's mud trucks or diesel trucks, it doesn't matter what we're doing. Any type of motorsport where we're doing a lot of custom fabrication, we're cutting we're cutting firewalls, we're doing shit like that. Guys are like, well, I'll just get this helmet, and I'll fire suit, but I won't buy any gloves. Well, what good is it? It's no. If your hands burn, whatever. But my arms didn't burn. Well, I'm not doing. I gotta have my hands before. As much as I need my arms. So I don't understand that with guys that. They'll
do some of it, but they won't do it all.
Oh, exactly. I don't understand it. We're gonna half-ass it. It's the wiping before you poop thing. It's like it's not making sense to me. If I'm gonna get behind the wheel, I'm gonna wear the helmet and the shoes and the pants and the jacket and the gloves, and I'm gonna put the head net on. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put the head sock on. I don't understand that with some of these guys. We'll wear a coat. We'll wear the coat and the helmet, but I got no gloves and I'm wearing blue jeans and my Wolverines. You're almost there, and you're almost there, but you're not all the way, half empty, half full. But I at the end of the day, I want to go home, and have my kids sit on my lap and ask me how well we did with a pull or how well we did with something. I want to be able to hold on to him or see him and be able to continue these conversations with him as years go. So that's kind of my biggest. My biggest thing with that is that you have to have. You got to be all the way. You can't just half-ass the stuff. Safety is a huge thing, and I think that needs to be done.
Number one.
Oh yeah, it should be. That any rule book, the first thing in any rule book should be the safety part. not. And if you look, a lot of times it's like the last thing that's talked about. This should be the first thing that's talked about. You open the book up, such and such an organization, first set of rules is safety. All right, here it is. These are the requirements, and then safe operations in a pitch. Don't be in a shithead and drinking beer and causing problems and no drama, blah, 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 blah. And then you can go into the classes. They got to get through that first part first. That's the key. We can make them all go like rocket ships, but if we can't make the rocket ship stop, it needs to come first.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm gonna preach about. Safety is our number one concern, obviously, and we want to make sure as all the fans, as well as the promoters and everybody's all safe from these things running down the track, and as well as the competitors too.
Well, that's the key thing. If you don't have them and they're not going to be safe, we're not going to have an event next week.
Certainly. So we hope 2017 brings us a great year, and we can continue on and growing and talking to you on more frequent basis, and hanging out everywhere.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Well, any last thoughts, any last words, Mike, before we head here to the top of the hour and dump you off and let you get back to your normally scheduled program? You probably got to rest up a little bit. Big day, dust off to get the sneakers all ready for a lot of, I would assume, a lot of visiting with promoters, with fair organizations tomorrow.
Well, if it's not that, it'll be Kathy beating up on me tomorrow because I didn't do something.
Well, there you go. That'd be all right.
So, no, we're just looking forward to 2017. It looks like the competitors' list is going to grow. I'm just overwhelmed with it. Like I said, I have that meeting coming up on February 4th. That's going to be down to the Lewis Brothers shop, and it's for the guys that didn't make the first one, so we can give them a shot and let them in on what's going on. And then there will be one that's going to be scheduled in the month of February this way. Not sure on that yet. I haven't set a date on it yet. And so we can kind of finalize and kind of know where we're going and what we have for competitors and make sure. Because that's the number one thing. You can't go to a show without numbers. There's no promoter that wants to see nothing.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
So, I'm gonna give them a pretty close number and to any one of the promoters that we're talking with, and we're gonna stand by our guns on it.
Great to hear. Well, everybody, we're going to cut Mike out of here and get ready to duck on out here. Again, Mike Petrie, good luck tomorrow, and let us know on the next upcoming meeting. Like I said, Clinton's not too far, the other side of Verona, so maybe we'll come out, peek our head in, and put name with face, shake hands, as they say, and sit in on the meeting and chat with everybody. So definitely let us know when that up and coming meeting is going to be held out there in Clinton.
I absolutely will, Ray. Thank you for having me on the show, and
not a problem.
Thank everybody for listening in, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Mike. We appreciate it. Good night now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And, of course, Mike Petrie right there, the New York Hot Farm Pulling Series coming up, the Hot Farm Pulling Series here in upstate New York. Big thank you to him joining us here tonight. Nice guy. Appreciate the time he took out of his busy evening to join me here tonight, talking live pulling on the Pulling Radio Network. Of course, a lot coming up here in 2017. Big thank you to Mike joining us here tonight. And again, talking live pulling here, brought to you tonight by our friends at Tedder Pulling. Big thank you to them for jumping on board. And, of course, Adam Drop, my co-host, every Tuesday night. The Full Pull with Adam and Ray right here on the Pulling Radio Network. Don't forget, lots of great pulling action coming up here. Don't forget, 1 o'clock on Sunday. Yeah, we're going to be pulling somewheres in Pennsylvania. Yeah, be ready for it. We're going to pop them up there and some other great things coming up here in the near future. So, again, big thank you to you all listening. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you think. The Talkin' Live Pulling, 518-620-1429. Always looking for who you want to come on, you want to talk about something, looking for other special guests or guest hosts. It's your show. You want to talk about something, and we'll get on here and we'll chit-chat on a Friday night. Again, not a show that's going to be all the time. We may not do one next week. If we pick somebody up and we got a good topic to talk about, we'll jump on here and do it again. It's kind of more of a impromptu thing until we can land a guest host or land a host that's going to be permanent. I've already got enough fame and thunder and glory on Tuesday night with my co-host Adam. So for that, ladies and gentlemen, big thank you to our friends in the marketing and graphics department for our brand new opening liner. Thank you, Kenny Eggleston. Great job by him. And, of course, big thank you to all the sponsors, all of our fans. Be sure to like and share and tell your friends about the Pulling Radio Network. Big thank you to everybody joining us here tonight. And, of course, again, Mike Petrie for joining us, talking about the up-and-coming series. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Good night, everybody.